Well, when I walked in Philly, he was like, "Oh fuck, we're in Philly. This is terrifying and weird."
Yeah.
Not like he coped, but he was definitely like, "This is weird. It's dark. I don't like this. This is like a strange place. I've never been in a city.
Yeah.
What's going on?"
Got it. Okay.
So hard to gauge like what he was like really.
Okay. Yeah. First ever city.
First ever city. Yeah.
For like a field.
Yeah. Yeah. Trust me, the place I picked him up from was not here.
A city.
It's not here.
Okay. Let's give him this.
Okay.
If you want to sign, if you want to turn that back on.
Okay.
Let's put your leash on you though, since you got that off. Is that okay?
Yeah. It's fine.
Do you guys have that?
It's pretty good.
I was like, yeah, I'd like to have that.
So I had two things happen when I had him at Y2K9s. One was I was walking him out of the training building and a young, I think male, adult-ish, well, giant, whatever, burner, like came bouncing up to him.
Got it.
And he snarled and lunged at him.
Yep.
And I like pulled him back, held him back, and then he was like, "Oh, okay, we're gonna like continue walking." And then, do you know Kino, the pier shop?
Yes.
You know, the disaster pier shop.
Disaster.
Anyway, so he was gonna leave the building, and I was bringing Trek back in after like an hour later, and I asked her to move and wait to the side, and she did. She was like sitting quietly off to the side, probably like 15, 20 feet away. And when we walked in, Trek lunged at him. No growling or anything. He looked.
Also high arousal context, right?
I mean, relatively, yes. Like, that situation itself wasn't particularly high arousal, but overall, the building probably had the context of high arousal.
He's like, I finished it, so.
So it's fine, you can have it now.
I have it. This doesn't really worry me at all. None of this worries
No, his facial expression the whole time has been completely chill.
I saw him look where I was for
He
a
looked
second.
once.
Once. Did no attempts to move away, really? Like, there's some readjusting, mostly based on the fact that it's a Kong and, like, not a bully stick where he can really wedge it.
Yeah.
But I'm not really worried about that.
That was pretty
Even a
boring.
little bit, especially since that was a brand new treat with a brand new toy in a very highly arousing situation with a person that he has no idea what I'm doing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He certainly didn't go like, oh, I'm sorry, here, you have it.
Right.
And I don't,
But he's also
I'm
a
not
dog who
looking
cares
for that
about food.
response. I'm
Yeah.
not actually looking for that response. I don't
Yeah.
think that that's really normal. I think that that's like extra submissive, and sometimes it almost. I'm like, that's a dog who's like worried. Do you know what I mean?
Right, like, please, okay, it's
You're
fine, I'm not
okay.
gonna,
Yeah.
I won't
That's
fight,
the
you can have it, it's all yours,
constant
bye.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't actually want that, really.
Yeah, I don't think they want it either.
Did you finish it?
He's
He-
like, I think we could now do more fun things with it.
I know. No, now it's a toy, maybe you could throw it.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I'm gonna do a little food stuff with him.
Okay.
Which is also gonna make me.
Oh, here's the bag. Look at him.
What did you say?
He hears the bag and he's like, oh my god, bye. Bye, Kong.
Which is also gonna make me a little bit of a different person to him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
And he's like, I could bring this to you.
Anyone wanna play with this?
No? Oh, that's lame.
I
Okay.
couldn't tell if he dived over to get it, like, oh, don't take it, or like, here, let's play with it together.
Mm-hmm. My guess is, let's play with it together.
Yeah. Because he knows it's empty. Although he did just bed down with it again, which makes me a little bit think he was like, wait, it could still have food in it.
Yeah. And he'll, like, I've found that he'll do this. Like, he'll have a toy and he'll be like,
Stop, yeah.
maybe this doesn't have any more food. And then he's like, well, but I could check because you aren't doing anything right now.
is that weird? Can I have that? You sure can.
He's like, yeah, I'll hand it to you. Look.
Can I have?
Thanks. Sorry, worst throw ever. Good catch, buddy. Alright, come here.
I could drop this. He's like, look how you don't even have to pick it up.
Yeah.
I could hand it to you. Someone taught me to hand this to you.
And that like bouncing back after it is just very, I mean, for a dog that's as high drive with toys as he is, it's pretty normal. He's not snatchy with food at all.
No, he's honestly, like, he is food motivated, but he's not
He's not really.
that food motivated.
The trainer in the class, did she indicate whether she was concerned about resource guarding towards from other dogs? Was that? It seemed like she.
I don't know, but we can ask. We actually can call his owner if you wanna.
Good, down. Oh, nice, thanks. Good. Sit. Oh, that's so.
He's so
nice.
smart.
He's really well trained. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Was a very good try. I just didn't know if he went flipper around.
I think he
Looks like he
flips. I think most field dogs flip
Okay.
for some reason.
Okay. It's more aroused. It's like, pew, ready? Pew.
Oh, so good.
Good boy. Good boy. Good.
He also knows touch, and we start. He's like, what? Me?
He's like, I also know that you don't want me to grab that. Okay. He just knew because I took his.
Obviously, he knows like stay fairly well,
Yeah, he thought
that kind of thing.
He thought it was in one.
Yeah.
Here.
Well, he was also probably trained to be steady on a leash. So
Oh, okay. Yeah.
if you're on a leash at my side in heel, don't move
Don't.
until I say your name. And he will release on okay sometimes, and he also releases on his name.
What a well-trained dog.
I know. He's so good.
Can you move? Yeah, come on. He's like, well, you don't have to push my throat. Okay.
I know he's like, that's
All right.
weird, but it's
He
okay.
also doesn't have a huge, he doesn't get frustrated rapidly or anything like that. Does
No,
that cost, like if I were to stand here and now start talking to you for a while holding this and like not giving him cues.
He won't care.
He's not gonna like start barking and jumping.
no. They did say in his puppy eval that he sometimes would frustration bark.
Yeah, that's really normal for a baby puppy.
Yeah. And they sort of said, be careful with that.
Right.
One thing that he does do, if he can see other dogs working, he
It's a
will,
really hard time.
he has a hard time. He will bite he actually had 2 incisors removed because he bit the bars of a pen. But that I feel like is like so manageable. It's just,
So
and
manageable.
it's an indicator.
Able to, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, do you have Cedric?
Yes.
Let's use Ced. I wanna have you walk Ced, like you keep Ced with you.
Okay.
I'm actually gonna stop feeding him.
Okay.
And because I'm gonna have him on a leash, but I now am absolutely a resource. Like, you know what I mean? I've now been playful.
You're a resource.
I'm a new person. Now we've done food and toys.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to start by just having you guys come into proximity.
Okay.
And then we'll go from there, because for me, it's like, is he gonna react poorly? Probably. Like, okay, I wanna see how bad it is without any modification.
Okay.
And then I actually just wanna start seeing how he responds to modification, because that's
Okay.
really what we're looking for with this
Okay.
dog, right? I mean, it's
Yeah.
like, we're not, I mean, you know, we know
We
he has
know he's-
issues. Like,
Yes, exactly.
You know what I mean? We wanna see like, how readily will they be fixed?
Right.
And like, how severe are they from here?
Right.
But like, alright, so I'm gonna just hang with him
Like there-ish.
just over here-ish, so that,
Okay.
you can, I was set, you guys are gonna come that way.
Yeah.
So actually, maybe we should, in order to give more space, switch.
Do you want to put him back there? Okay. And I'll re-aim this.
So,
hopefully.
this table, this
Is now
location is also
resource
now
zone.
pretty serious.
Okay. The kitchen is probably not super.
Not super
resourcey.
resourcey, okay, so let's go over there, but I do, cause it's really interesting, like,
Let me pick up the
he
buttons
might,
also.
yeah, that's true. He may also, whatchamacallit,
I don't know.
decide that even if we're over here, you and Cedric going towards that table
it's
is
not good.
not cool.
Okay.
But so, and you know what, if he does, fine, we'll keep an eye on it.
Okay.
Quite frankly, that is the type of stuff I wanna know. That's the type of stuff that people don't identify in a
Wait,
house.
is he going to like leave the location that he is to go find a resource?
To guard. Or guard one that like, you have a bone, it wasn't my bone, but you can't have it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean? That kind of
As opposed to like, I
thing.
actively
As
have
opposed to
this,
like, I have a
and
thing, I'm gonna
using
give
it,
you a
and I
warning.
need you to not come over.
I need you to not, yeah. With Delta, you haven't done any resource stuff yet. They get along because she's a female.
He and Alba and Delta have gotten along fine.
Great.
The only thing that I did notice, and again, hard to differentiate now between person and food, I was trying to do a little bit of like, look at that with her because he was very comfortable with her. So I had him with me on like one side of an X-Pen and she was on the other side of an X-Pen just so that she couldn't come like too terribly close. They were pretty close. And he would like look at her and it was like fine and I would feed him and it was all fine. And one of the times, I don't remember, like I feel like she wasn't even really looking at him, like she didn't turn and stare at him or anything. And he raised his lip at her. Very like,
Yeah.
not inappropriate, pretty
Just-
minor, just like,
A beginning.
just like,
yeah.
And at least it was a warn.
Definitely. Yeah,
But I was
don't
like,
mind
no,
seeing-
okay, I don't
If
know
there's
this.
discomfort, I wanna see it go gradual.
Yeah, totally. And it, you know, definitely he
was.
was like, okay, like now she has a lot of resource and you seem to be here and I don't know if I
This
was
is
like
kind of
that,
uncomfortable.
this might not be cool.
Got it.
But I've kept like food, toys, food. I know, he's like, it's over here really. I've kept like
All
other
that really
stuff
out of the equation.
away.
Got it.
Unless like, if he's in an X-Pen and they're in the area, I've given him a food toy. Again, like he doesn't, I don't think a food toy is maybe even as exciting as like a soft toy potentially.
Yeah.
But like they've been wandering around, it's not like he's left the resource and like charged the barrier.
Got it. Okay, good.
He seems pretty chill about it.
Got it.
The other, there was a tip there.
Good.
I know
I can't
everyone
not.
finds, no, everyone finds it.
Yeah.
Like four
Like
people
it's a
have
scab from
found
a dick.
it. I know exactly what you're talking
Yeah.
about. Trex, do you see that? You do.
Good boy.
He's like, yeah, but like you don't have enough stuff. So you're kind of lame now.
He's like, you totally have a thing. That could be a thing.
This could be a thing. He's like, look at him. He's like, look, you're even holding it like it's
Yeah.
sit. Good boy. So the only other issue with Cedric is he is small,
Yeah.
and I can't tell if
It's
some of
predatory,
his stuff
yeah.
is prey or. I think he knows he's a dog. Like I'm pretty confident he's
Yeah.
figured that part out.
Got it.
But they've barely met other than like seeing each other a little bit.
A little
So-
bit through. Yeah.
So he might, but I think like he might stare at him at first, but I think once he identifies that he's a dog,
It
he'll
gets
probably get
less.
dog behaviors.
Yeah. Okay. Actually, you know what? Let's start with Alba or Delta.
Okay,
Let's start with a familiar dog.
okay,
I don't care who, really.
okay. I'm gonna use Delta so that Alba doesn't like use for shit. Not that she will, but you can see her being like, I'm hoping so hard.
Yeah.
I'm trying so hard, and Delta's just gonna be like, hey.
Yeah.
Stay.
But Delta also, and Alpha does too, they also show a lot of interest towards,
Like toys, Delta will, and I mean Alba.
they all do.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Hey, buddy.
Hopefully nothing is like exploded in my algorithm.
What did they do? Hey, your pupils are getting back down to normal size. It's good. You're okay, bud.
Alright, I already had to tell Delta that no, she could not bring the platypus downstairs.
Aww. I know. Come here. Good. And now he's really hypervigilant as to where you are.
Okay.
Is that something that you've noticed, like, it's hard for you to know if you leave a room what he looks like, but have you seen any of that, like, interesting person leaves the room and
He's like, where are you going?
yeah. Or do you think that he's perceiving this could be about bringing a dog or something?
My guess is, I wouldn't say he's like super hypervigilant about where I am. Like, I can leave him in the bedroom in an X-Pen and leave and he seems like very chill
Yep.
when I get back and like he hasn't been worried about where I am. But I also don't know that he's like anticipating a dog and like, oh my god, a dog. I think he might just be like, oh, what's happening? This is new.
Okay, interesting behavior from him. So, Kissy noised him. Now he's doing a little better, but the first time it was boom, up right away,
Yeah.
so heightened arousal. And then he aligned
Yeah.
and pushed his, do you see what he did with this?
Yeah.
Like pushed his butt into me and stared, and then she, which I think that normal dogs are such a huge read, because she then did 2 avert gazes like right in a row. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, it's fine.
She's like, dude, I'm not gonna come directly over there and do anything stupid. Hi, how you doing? Okay, let's just move around a little bit with them. Here you go. You okay, buddy? Don't. Good boy.
Hi, honey.
Yeah, good. Yep, it's your friend.
He's like, oh, I know you. Okay. It's fine. I'm thinking
Good job. I know, it's really hard. Shake it off. Okay. Yeah, this was hard for him though. This is all hard for him based on just how many resources are involved.
Yeah.
And I think also the leashes are like, they're a necessary component, but
But they make it hard.
they make things very different because it's like, what are you gonna get us to do? Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like, you know what I mean? And he's so leash aware in a way that is almost like, because as soon as I like really made sure to have the leash when you went up, just to be like, all right, you know, they're coming down. And he did his like back up and like,
Like, oh, I'm
you know,
ready, I'm
mind
in
the
position,
leash,
I'm
mind
doing-
the
I'm
leash
paying
thing.
attention. Yeah.
And there's a lot of very unnatural behavior happening because of that. Good job, good job.
Where yourself just kind of like, whatever.
Dubs is like, this is freaking weird. It's like, why are we in my living room doing a weird thing? Good. Good, okay. Yeah, see if you can pass by. I'm gonna have his leashes loose. Nice, good job, honey. Good job.
You want me to walk by again?
And he's pretty comfortable with the fact that that's Delta, I think.
Mhm.
Do you know what I mean? He's
Yeah.
not entirely comfortable. There's a lot of like sidling up
Mm-hmm.
and like not being sure how to navigate things. Trying.
And he's like, I could do
he's
this
just
thing
trying
that I
to
know.
heal again, yeah.
I could do a thing.
But it's interesting to me that when things get tense, all of his default behaviors do really, a lot of them like are resolving around the training that he's learned, which makes
Yeah.
me just feel very like learned about a lot of it. Do you know what I mean? Like
I learned to
thing
cope by
that-
doing this thing that results in nothing bad happening.
Right, well, and like in this context, when things get stressful, I do this. Because this is a stress, like, I imagine that there was probably all this emphasis on like, when dogs come around, you heal. You know what I mean? And like, that's really stressful and tense.
Wait,
And
so he's like, there's a dog. Oh my god, I'm gonna do the thing that is.
I'm worried and I
is
should
fine.
work. I'm worried and I can't mess up. I'm worried and I can't mess up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then that stress, and look at all these calming
I
signals.
know.
Yeah, okay. Alright, let's put her away.
Okay.
And then I wanna do Cedric.
Okay.
Actually, you know what I'd sort of almost rather do, although it's hard because we have to switch handlers? I have Muffin in the car.
Okay.
I would love to do Large, obviously dog, who is also a female, but unknown.
You. Yeah, that's fine.
Because I feel like the male thing is probably like more coincidental than anything. What do you want to come over here and do?
Like, I want to take her maybe.
Good girl. Yeah, okay. Or good boy, sorry. Yeah, he's like, I want to sniff her maybe, but kind of posture a little bit.
Yeah.
Do you see that? Yeah. He's like, I just don't really know what
And
to
he
do.
and Alba, interestingly, I think Alba copes a lot by playing,
So they play.
and so they play.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's
Nice.
actually nice play.
Yeah.
Like, they play appropriately. They will both take
Okay,
breaks.
so
like,
see this?
Yeah,
Look at the way he's watching that.
I know. Yeah.
Look at that.
Stare, stare.
Stare, stare, lip, lick. Closed mouth.
Really, really stare. But I know how to do a thing.
Good job, buddy.
Good boy. He's like, I'm not happy about it, but I know I'm on a leash. So. Yeah, he's not very happy.
No, he's worried about it. He doesn't want her to get the resources, for sure. Yep. Hey, bud. so handsome. Yeah, that's nice too, thanks.
Good boy.
Okay,
Yeah, so if you want to get Muffin,
Yeah, let's switch.
That's fine. Let
Alright.
me put her away. I'll just
Okay.
put
her away. I am also curious to see what he does once she leaves in terms of
Okay.
de-stressing and that kind of thing.
Okay. Doll. Hey.
That's just like, you threw a cookie and I saw.
I know. She's like, I'm also kind of deaf, and now I like really have
Oh,
to
yeah. Pun has that happening too. Did she go deaf from chemo?
No, I think just her, like being old.
He went deaf, definitely from chemo.
I remember you saying that.
He's like not entirely deaf, but very,
I
very.
think she can hear like super high pitched things. Come on. Come on. Come on, yes, bring the glasses.
Hi. Are you trying your very best? Come on, let's go over here. Don't worry about what they're doing.
Honestly, it's possible that there's something going on, but there's also like a fan on the loudest setting and a radio, so I'm not actually sure.
Yeah.
Hi.
I already, just seeing that a little bit, especially since she's a familiar dog, and, you know, there is a fair degree of concern about her navigating around resources that he is not in possession of, which makes me not think that it's impossible for him to like live with other dogs, but that it's gonna be really freaking
It's hard.
And I'm sure that he's trainable to cope with other dogs out in working settings
Yeah.
and walking through the street and like this kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever had an issue with another dog
Random
like,
dogs.
while working.
Right. And they've all been
Familiar dogs, like in the house.
that he's really gotta navigate like regular resources.
every
and, like,
day, casual interactions.
right. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Trash.
Hey, bud. And I'm sure it's not impossible. And I do find that most dogs, even with some resource issues, have the ability to, as they build, comfort with the way that like I think a really excessively strong management system, with other dogs that are well controlled and like a very, very trustworthy, like a handler that the dog trusts, it can be done. It would need to be like, need to be someone so savvy. Do you know what I mean?
I know. That's basically the thing with this dog, is like
He needs a really savvy.
the right person. He could
Yeah.
be totally fine
I
and
think-
great and probably a very successful
Actually, a
performance
very
dog.
successful performance dog. Well, and I think he could certainly also be, he could definitely be a successful performance dog in an only dog home, which is the
Yeah.
type of people looking for a performance dog don't
Don't
have
want
zero
another dog.
dogs.
I know.
Yeah, don't have zero dog, and don't want to not, be able to get another dog. Hi. You're very nice. I know.
I know. He's like, I try really hard.
He's like, I want to do my best. I just
He
want to
does.
do my best.
I know. He's like, sometimes my best varies.
Yeah. He's like, sometimes my best isn't really good enough, but
No,
sometimes
I try
it
really
is.
hard.
Sometimes it is. All right, let me get Muffin.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna, because that type of thing, that's the groceries that just came home. Do you know what I mean? That's the, oops, didn't realize he'd care about my new scarf, but he thinks it's a toy, and I left it on the chair, and the other dog, do you know what I mean? Like, I mean, that's obvious, that's like to us, because we, you know what I mean? But what I worry about is the, like, I can't tell you how many people I have with dogs that they don't understand why they aggress, when it's always resource guarding, and they just can't identify
What the resource
what the
was.
resource was. Yeah, or
Well, and the fact that
the
the
dog
component, a resource component, also makes it
makes it
harder.
hard.
Because
Very.
you're like, oh, I can't put myself
I
away
can't just
from
put
the dog
myself
and all
away.
that.
No, definitely never. In fact, never. Yeah, exactly. All right, let me grab her.
Okay.
I feel really defeated about having to break out the like full winter coat.
Yeah.
Yesterday was a bad, miserable cold.
Yesterday was awful. Can we not like talk about
I
yesterday?
know. I broke out the space heater.
Oh, the electric blanket's been on for like 2 months.
Has it? Yeah.
Yeah, the electric blanket is strong here. And like long underwear.
The other thing is actually also that Muffin is not totally normal. Like she's
Yeah.
gonna cope really well, but she's not totally normal.
Yeah.
Which I want to keep them really good distance.
Yeah.
But I just want it to be. It's not a male, but it's an unfamiliar, obvious dog.
Right.
Part of me thinks we could use Super even. But there's a couple things about Super. One, he is small. He's definitely a lot bigger than Cedric. He's an
Yeah.
obvious dog.
Yeah.
But he is so careful. Like he'd be over here like throwing calming signals
He's
out
like the most easy dog ever.
He's the most
really,
easy
everything's
dog
cool. It's all cool. It's fine. It's
yeah.
fine. It's fine.
Which is great, and in some ways, the desperation with which he appeases gives me a lot of information about the other dog. You know what I mean? However, it also allows the other dog to be successful in a circumstance that they're often not. Like, he's actually fabulous for a lot of my clients because I can use him as a, like, you're starting at step -1. Like, you know what I mean?
This is the easiest.
This is the easiest, yeah. Level 0 minus a half.
Do you want me to have anything like food or anything?
I want you to have treats because, yeah, I'm gonna put these actually over with you because what I'm gonna do is I don't want you to use them at first.
Okay.
But then I wanna see like how readily he can sort of come around.
Okay. You're a good boy, sit. So good. So to leave my house, turn that top deadbolt,
Okay.
and then just turn, you have to turn the handle just really hard.
Okay.
But you can leave it unlocked and just come back in.
And then we go, okay.
Yeah, so, yep, and then just, yeah, perfect.
Okay. and then
Great job.
I'll go look at that.
Okay.
Yeah, really good parking.
Oh, yeah. Trixie. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Turn it really hard. Oh, like shove it with your knee. Like push the button down and shove it. There you go.
Thanks.
It's really hard.
Yeah.
Muffin is like, oh shit, what is this?
She's like, what are you doing?
She looks like super fit.
She's ripped.
Good boy.
Do a little bit of, do him and just walk, just enough to get him out of a sit. Like, yeah, left to right, maybe.
Try it. Good boy. I'm gonna try.
Just air scenting, okay.
Try. Good boy. Come on, bud. Here. Good boy.
This is actually quite nice. Yeah.
Yeah. From like a working perspective, like, would he maybe be a little bit weird if he had to go interact with her? Maybe, but
Maybe, but
he's like, I can continue working.
he's just showing he's just showing interest to me.
Yeah.
Not terribly over-aroused. At first he was slightly concerned. He doesn't seem all that, he just seems curious to me right now.
Yeah.
He's just trying
It's
to
also
catch.
weird because, like, if you look at the lighting, she's like silhouetted.
Oh, is
like,
she?
It's like a little, like when she first came in, it was
Yeah.
like a little weird looking. But now he's like, oh, okay, you're clearly a dog.
He's just trying to smell the air as much as he possibly can. That's pretty nice.
Good boy. Do you want to not be in a sit? Good boy.
Good girl.
I'll try.
He's like, this is crazy, this is crazy, this is crazy.
Good boy.
Yeah.
Look, I'm
He's
gonna go
like
by
that.
being in heel position like I'm
Huh?
supposed to.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is so hard because it's such a hard read on natural behavior.
I know. Okay, Jack. Okay.
I'm gonna let her have a toy, she's not gonna really play aggressively with it, like
Okay.
I'm just gonna sort of.
It's like, remember how that was my toy?